If you're jumping into FPV, you might be feeling FOMO. You're seeing everybody talk about the O4 Lights and the O4 Pros, and should you upgrade? Which system should you get? Here's a bit of a pre-review on the cheapest way to have a look at the O4s. So that is these right here. So these are the N3 goggles. They bind up to the O4 air units. As of the time of this, I don't think they bind up to the O3s. Like if that happens, it's going to be a great day for a lot of people. Now, these goggles, they're not perfect. You can see, you're going to see a video coming out, like the full review of these. However, I think if we have a look at the price over on DIY FPV, 200, like 220, 200, here we go, $230. I think that's got to be, yeah, we're still in USD right here. So if you haven't checked out DIY FPV and you want to find the cheapest place to get it, go do that. But yeah, these goggles, I have to say, I really, really like them. Now, they are going to be nowhere near as good as the O3s in terms of the generation, the Goggles 3, I should say, my mistake. The Goggles 3, they're amazing. Marry that up with like an O4 Pro, you're going to be having an amazing FPV experience. But if we look at the Goggles 3 here, let's see, this might just be searching within the category. This is a significant price difference. So you are looking at like, I don't know why Rotor Village seems so cheap. That might be without taxes. Everywhere else is sort of like out of stock as well. So, okay. Yeah, very, very expensive versus going back to the N3, significantly cheaper getting these. So if you want to jump in and have a look at what the latest digital is like, I think the N3s are not a terrible option. Now, there's definitely some limitations. Something I don't like is this battery on the back because it's not replaceable. I thought I saw a comment when someone was saying these just clip out and you can replace your own ones in. Now, I do not think that is the case. I could take it apart. There is some screws here on the back. I don't really want to do that. That's my biggest limitation of the goggle. And also they only do like 60 frames or 60 Hertz on the LCD screen that is in here, which is a bit of a shame because you can get like 100 on the little O4 air units. Now, the things that I really like, and check this out for a picture, man Steve right here. So when they're sitting on your face, the goggles, they sort of slope down just a little bit. And because it's like a periscope design, that means you actually have a longer like focal point to look at rather than it just being straight out. You get that like hypotenuse, if we're going to be talking like, I don't know what the actual mathematical term is, but you have a longer focus distance. By the time it travels, the vision goes out from your eyeballs and then reflects up into the screen in the top of the goggles. I've never had less eye strain on a box goggle. These are the most comfortable in terms of my eyes when I'm actually looking into a box goggle, and also extremely comfortable on my face. So when they're sitting on there, they do balance really, really well. They've obviously put a lot of time into designing this and a lot more comfortable than, say, the Goggles L, which would be the other one that people talk about when we're talking about digital. The Goggles L, I really like them. There's some definite pros and cons with that system as well, but as it stands, I really like the Goggles N3. Now, they're not going to be for everybody. In terms of glasses, both are a very, very hard sell to try to fit them in. This is a little bit bigger, but that doesn't mean that you have more space in here. I feel like this wraps around your face a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you want to try digital, we've never had a better time. And I've seen a lot of videos where people say, hey, if you're getting the O4s, just get the Goggles 3. I'm kind of not on that train. I think that if I was coming into the hobby today and I wanted to upgrade and I'm worried about like what am I actually missing with the FOMO, $200 or $230 for a pair of the N3s, I think is extremely good value. Now, I don't know, it's just my 2 cents. It'll be really easy for me to say, hey, go buy the Generation 3s, but they're like out of stock everywhere. What did we say? What was the price of these again? Canadian shop. Let's have a look. Rotor Village. Okay. Oh, this would be Canadian. That's why it's saying that's what that price discrepancy is. If I turn this back to US, let's see, 486. Yes, look at that. Look at that for some coding. Shout out to the DIY FPV team for making everything easy and comparable right there. So I freaked out for a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, if you were coming into the hobby today, what system would you get? What do you think about the N3 goggles? You're going to see the video coming out soon. I really like them. Of course, they're not perfect, but they're also not insane money like that people can't afford. If you want to try FPV, digital is a real, and I'm saying this, a real value option nowadays. Not budget, value. And I think the value for digital FPV has never been better. I just need to put a little quote right there. If I ever wrote a book, that'll be on the back for that's the chapter of February 2025. Digital FPV has never been better value. All right.